Welcome back to the Kelly Roach Show. Today we are talking about, well, let's just say we're having a little bit of a tough love conversation from Coach Kelly, my heart to yours. So, we interact with thousands of entrepreneurs every single week. And I mean directly interact with thousands of entrepreneurs every week, because not only are we managing our customers, but obviously my teams have their Dream 1000 lists. And so we are literally having thousands of direct conversations with you all every single week. And we're working with people from startup to people that have been in business for 15, 20 years, people that run 7-figure businesses, 6-figure businesses, 8-figure businesses. Some of you have had a 9-figure exit. We work with people at all different levels in all different industries, from all different walks of life and from countries around the world. And there is one thing that everyone in the collective is experiencing right now, which is that it's a challenging season. Even if you're having high levels of success and you're winning, you're having to work harder, right? And that is okay. That is okay, because all of our greatest successes and all of our greatest growth that actually springboards us to the future only ever comes from our hard seasons. Our good seasons are only ever a result of those hard seasons. And we hear the phrase from people all the time, I'm doing everything. And it takes us about 3 seconds to go ahead and take a quick peek at what they are referring to as to how they're labeling, I'm doing everything, I'm trying everything, and I'm already doing that, for us to see that, in fact, we are not trying everything. We are not doing everything. And we are not already doing that. And here's the truth. We are all guilty of this on some level. We are all guilty of this on some level. I am a content creator. I've been creating content online. I probably put out, I don't know, 10 pieces of content a day between stories, posts, videos, emails, etc. So, 50 to, let's call it 50 to 70 pieces of content a week I'm putting out. So I'm in the game, right? Am I doing everything I could be doing to grow? Absolutely not. Are there a million things that someone could come to me today and say, hey, what about this thing? Or how are you doing with that thing? Or, what does that look like that I could improve on 1,000-fold? 100%. Does it matter that I've been in business for 10 years? No, because I can be in business for 15 years, and doing something badly over and over again for 15 years does not equate to me being an expert at it. And so if we want to grow together in this season, and if we want to elevate 7, 8, 9 figures and beyond, then we have to let go of these defense mechanisms that we all use at varying levels, myself included. I love to think that I am so on top of content. I love to think that I am so on top of, using the platforms and being visible and all of those things. But I will tell you, I have recently noticed some areas where I am really, really falling short. Why? Because I have my habits and I have my comfort zone. And I have the things that I know that I do really well, that come really naturally for me, that I've been doing for years. And then there's all these kind of like blind spots of things that I could be doing better, things that I could be doing differently, things that would move the needle in my business, including going live on Instagram, which I never do. I probably go live on Instagram like twice a year. Do you think we'd grow faster if I went live on Instagram more often? Yes. So that's something I can call myself out on right here, right now, that I'm going to be changing, because I probably go live on Instagram twice a year. Now I'm live on Facebook almost every day in some place. Right. And there's so much more that I can do to drive the brands forward and to be a better CEO to my team and make it easier for them to grow by being more visible. And I'm really, really shifting into that gear now. And that's why I'm having this conversation with all of you, because I see in me the same things I hear from you, and we all have to collectively stop it. We all have to collectively stop it, because you have to ask yourself, when you make those stories and excuses, I'm doing that already. I'm already trying that. I'm doing everything I can do to grow. Does that help you? Is there any benefit whatsoever to you stating any one of those things that's actually going to put you in the position that you want to be. Does it keep you comfortable? Yeah, it keeps you really comfortable because you feel like you can check the box and feel bad, feeling bad for yourself because you're trying so hard and it's not your fault that you're not where you want to be. That's what that does for you when you make those statements. But what it doesn't do for you, it doesn't open up the new revenue stream and the additional channels for growth that you're missing that you probably could very easily monetize. So this is why they say that growing a business is the greatest personal development exercise of all time. And I totally agree, because it doesn't matter what level you're at. I had someone come to one of my team members the other day and say, like, I know that I've been in business for 15 years, blah, 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 blah. And this person was making zero profit. So no, you actually don't know that. It doesn't matter how long you've been in business, because first of all, there's a big difference between knowing and doing. I think we all know that, right? Knowing doesn't count for anything. It's whether or not we're executing, right? So knowing and doing are not the same. And just because we've done something for a long time doesn't mean we're any good at it. And it is only in the depth of the raw, real, cold, hard truth that we're willing to admit to ourselves that we are going to find the light, that we are going to find the opportunity, that we are going to find the breakthrough. And so maybe for you, your statement that you use all the time is very different than the ones that I mentioned at the beginning of this show. Maybe the statement that you make looks really different, but I guarantee there's some pattern, there's some record that runs in your mind that you say to yourself, or that you say to your team, or that you say to your husband or to your wife, that gives you the comfort of giving yourself a pass instead of getting uncomfortable and actually doing the next level thing that you need to do that's going to change your situation. And here's the bottom line. None of us are ever going to say that we're doing everything that we could possibly doing to grow our businesses, because you can't. So there's always an opportunity to grow. There's always an opportunity we're not taking advantage of. And I'm not saying scatter yourself and dilute your energy into 1,000 different things. I'm saying look at the lowest lying fruit and look at all the things that you have built up credibility, authority, and opportunity in, and make sure that at least those basic fundamentals, that you are taking full advantage of those things. And this is something that I've been doing in a lot of my power hours with the 7 and 8 figure leaders that I'm working with, which is that I get on the phone with them and I can show them where they can find millions of dollars in their business, because they don't have a great reactivation plan. They don't have a great alumni program. They're not leveraging referrals the way that they could be. They don't have a great system for renewals and upsells. They're not systematically getting reviews every single week online. And these things alone, I call them the 4 R's, can bring millions of dollars into your business. So, and by the way, I'll just divert for 1 second. If you're listening to this, you're an established business owner, you're a peak performer, but your business just isn't growing as quickly as you want it to be, you might be a great candidate for a power hour with me. It's not any kind of long-term obligation or commitment. It is short, sweet, to the point. You get the strategic insights that you need. You get the power levers to pull. You get the plan that's going to make you the money, and you go on your way and you execute. And so if you want to learn more about that, scroll down below this episode. You can learn about how you can apply and speak with my team to see whether or not a power hour will be a fit for you. But the key thing here is, if you want to grow faster, you have to continue to peel away those excuses. And especially in the market of today, we can't afford to tell those stories. We can't afford to be defensive of our own behavior. And every time we do that, we dig ourselves deeper into staying where we are versus propelling ourselves forward by acknowledging the opportunity that sits right in our laps. And we have to challenge ourselves as elite performers and as leaders to walk the walk And walk the walk doesn't mean that you just do the things that you already know to do, that you've been getting results from all along. Because chances are, if you're like any other business owner that I've talked to in the last 6 months, a lot of the things that you have been doing aren't working the same way that they were working, and you're not getting the results that you were once getting, which means that if you are so stubborn as to make these excuses and to tell these stories to yourself, then what you're doing is you're shutting yourself out of all of this possibility and all of these openings and all of these things that actually are available to you, that are working, but you're saying set in your ways, justifying how hard you're working. Now, I would say this also goes hand in hand with, hey, it's the beginning of the second quarter right now, the middle of the second quarter. It's a great opportunity to reevaluate your priorities and really look at where your time is going. And you have to start saying no to all the things that are not propelling you forward, and look at all the things that are distracting either you or taking manpower from your team, that are not going to align with how you're going to get that next big breakthrough. Because the truth of the matter is the market of today requires more time and energy to get the same results that you got yesterday, which means that you have to do less different things and more of the things that are going to get you to where you want to be in order to make that happen. We're going through a huge process of doing this across all of my companies right now, even to the point where in some programs, we're not accepting new clients for the rest of the year, because we know we have to focus in on less things, but do a better job with them and to grow them more quickly in order to create the momentum and velocity that we want and need. So it really is true that a lot of times it is addition through subtraction. And the reason why that's true is that many times it is going to be the complexity that kills your growth and the simplicity that scales it. Okay. But I want to challenge you today to ask yourself, what are the phrases or the ideas that you've been holding on to that are maybe not healthy or helpful in getting you to your goals? And what do you need to replace them with starting now? I want to thank you so much for listening to The Kelly Roach Show. And I want to remind you to scroll down below this episode to apply for a power hour with me. If you want the strategic insight of someone that's helped hundreds of people build 6, 7, and 8-figure businesses, you want to get your company back into hyper growth again. You need that strategic insight to understand where to put your time, where to put your focus, where to put your money to be able to actually get your business growing at its peak again. I am the girl to help you make that happen. And I can't wait to help you make that happen. And a power hour is a great, simple, immediate thing that can help you get that ROI right away. So scroll down below today's episode and apply for a power hour. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you back here soon.